one point in it, that it could go either way. Someone's going to go on a big streak at some point. It's just whether it happens before the 1+1 section. And I think for Alireza, a disappointment, but still reasons for optimism.
Absolutely. You said disturbance. Just to be clear, that's not anybody shirtless running through the venue. That was actually like a 1-hour technical delay, and so both players have had to deal with a 90-minute segment over the course of much longer than that. Curious to see what happens here in the 3+1 and 1+1, both representing the Falcons very proudly, both number 2 and number 3 in the previously concluded Esports World Cup, both clearly, in my opinion, the second and third best speed players in the world. And it's really a shame we have them facing each other in the semifinals back-to-back years. Alireza won last year. This time Hikaru has an early advantage. Fun fact, before we get the chess underway, we had a stat earlier of their head-to-head matchup. Hikaru has like 1,000 wins, Alireza has 450, whatever. Since 2024, shout out to my guys Paul, Nick, Vlad, and Rugved who told me this. They're in the venue. They looked this up. Since 2024, Alireza has more wins against Hikaru.
Nice. Most of Hikaru's wins then are historic against the younger Alireza, of course, different generations. Yeah, and often players' memory in chess, it's quite short-term. Like, you forget all the bad beats, or at least you should forget them. And Alireza will remember that he has had decent matches against Hikaru, both in the Speed Chess Championship last year, in Bullet Chess Championship matches, and yeah, I think he believes still that he is the faster and fresher of the two. Absolutely.
Hikaru said he kept it short and sweet. Alireza's played better, but he's mismanaged his time. It's really difficult to mismanage your time in 3+1 and 1+1. There is no time mismanagement. And if you've played really well, but you've played really slowly, you have to start playing faster, and that could jeopardize the quality of your play. So very curious to see what's going to happen. This is still anybody's match, in my opinion. I think 65-35 is utter rubbish, to use a local term.
Yeah, it's almost a 50-50. You would think maybe Hikaru now just because he has a 1-point lead, but still minimal. And it looks like we're off. The 3+1 segment has begun, and Hikaru switching it up.
Queen's Gambit accepted with an E4 move on the third move. That's very, very normal. But then C5 striking back and building up this pawn mass. This is some sort of cutting-edge stuff, David. This has to be some engine preparation because it looks horrendous for black, but it just manages to work out.
It's fascinating. Hikaru must have prepared this before today. He would never play this at the candidates, that is for sure. He's got the reputation of a dubious line. But interestingly, when he was looking at the game review for an earlier defeat, he was looking at this. He was clicking through it. Queen to A5 check now the way to take advantage of White's last move. I'm just checking the database. Apparently bringing the bishop out to F4 instead of taking that pawn was the way that most grandmasters handle this. And Hikaru also going the wrong way, allowing White to just take back on C4, establish material equality, and lead in development.
Yeah, Queen A5 was immediately punishing because it sent the knight back to C3. Now if you play Queen A5, I wonder if there's a difference. You can just play King F1, first of all. And then the queen is misplaced, everything is misplaced, whereas if you had just started immediately with this, none of this would have happened. Having said that, David, I feel like none of that really matters because we're going to get into a below 2-minute and then below 1-minute time situation very quickly.
Exactly, and no drastic mistakes. Yes, we saw some question marks, but that's because they weren't the most hyper-accurate moves. Instead, we see a normal type of position emerge. Yes, both sides have isolated pawns, but black has a has a nice knight. Noting here that knight takes bishop would have been met by a queen check on A4, winning back the piece immediately, and the black knight is probably the glue for the position here, holding everything together, so you don't want to trade that off.
Alireza is building up brilliant moves, by the way. That's probably going to get another one. The previous one did. There it is.
Oh,
look
flashy.
at this is what we call brilliant inflation. Two brilliants, but that's not true. I like Hikaru's blockade on D6. I think this is actually an easier position to play for black in some ways.
Yeah, somehow the white position is almost a bit blunted behind this pawn. Black just defends now. The knight will come out, maybe even coming to the center. Rook on the semi-open B file. Pawns have been sacrificed for less. And here he's doing it all from a level standpoint, materially.
Almost feels like a good Benoni somehow.
Yeah.
Like it has some
Benko.
rumblings. Yeah, good Benko. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Black is better.
Yeah, this last move. It does give up a pawn. Bishop takes B2 is one question. And
hey, shout out, sacrifice the rook shirt. We love that. We love that. I hope nobody does it right now. It would be disaster, but at some point for sure.
Yeah, everyone's walking around in the hoodies as well, the Speed Chess Championship hoodies today. It's been a nice sight. And okay, Hikaru didn't play bishop takes B2, which may have been the way to try and refute White's idea, but instead plays a very natural move, tries to nudge back the white bishop.
Yeah, bishop B2 feels a bit psychotic. In any low time format, you feel like the other person is going to get an attack going on your king, and it's not going to be so easy.
Especially against Alireza, surely. It's not Hikaru's style to provoke a big attack or to provoke dynamism. If anything, he wants to provoke a small positional kind of territory battle there, instead dropping back his bishop.
But this is a very annoying move. Very annoying. Because now what do? Shout out. Shout out to the audience. Shout out Vlad.
Might have to trade.
How do I know someone's name in the audience? Isn't that crazy? Look how far technology has come. No, I'm just kidding. Those are actually the guys that told me about those stats. Like, he does take on b2.
Now there's a tactic. Rook to b1 saves the rook, but there would be a skewer with bishop to f5. And the two white rooks would be lined up on the light squares. Black would win material. Okay, he's sacrificing, I was going to say. Alireza is not going to back down.
He's doing the thing. Well, it's not really forced, yeah? He doesn't have to take. He can just go back to g7. But why would he do that?
He flicks an exchange. White had to take back with the pawn. Doubled f-pawn's ugly, but the white queen needed to defend the rook on a1. And now dark squared bishops to take or not to take. Long-term black's doing very well, but short-term white pieces are still active.
I feel like he could have went to d4 as well, but then the sacrifice would have been really juicy. This feels like a very easy position to play, especially in bullet for black. You have much better structure, you have a knight for bishop, you put the knight somewhere in the center, and then the other guy hangs a fork and you win.
Yep. We'll see if that unfolds. And Hikaru's typing.
He's changing songs, maybe.
Yep, looks that way. Confident enough about his position with just over 1 minute against 40 seconds. Maybe time mismanagement again from Alireza.
You know what's been stuck in my mind since I went to that Arsenal-Chelsea match? London Calling by The Clash. I mean, goodness, what a song. Music used to be better. It just used to be better. Now, I think Hikaru has seen some better positions in this match, although the theme of him being pressured a lot with black is still there. It really is.
At least here he's being pressured where he has something to hold on to, like long-term, better pawn structure, maybe knight against bishop, he'll have some chances. But yeah, attack-wise, that was a great move. He needed to stop the rook sliding, the queen coming in.
But he could have just went there to begin with, right?
That's true.
He lost the tempo, and that's not good. His position's okay, but he did lose the tempo. 20 seconds for Firouzja with nothing decided in the position. No structure. He just has to pick a plan and go for it.
Yeah, and that's the type of move you just you play out of pure panic. King g2, okay, it improves things, nice square, cover all the pawns, but he clearly can't find a plan, and he knows the clock is ticking, 16 seconds and counting. d5 now about to fall. Hikaru's turning things in his favor.
Yeah, black will play e6.
Cemento.
And then that's it.
No way through the black defenses there. Shake of the head from Alireza.
Yeah, just e6. No, but I mean, okay, just e6. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm not going to do my Leku impression just yet. Rook c8, and the position is looking nice for black.
Yeah, there is one pawn hanging, but who cares? It's all about the other side of the board. Great trade there. Now all the dark squares are weak in white's camp.
And rook c3 is coming in, and knight e3 and knight f4 are coming in.
Oh, it looks scary. The white rooks are active, but they're loose. The white king is under fire. Rook c3 looks super strong.
Rook c2? Rook c2 just, how do you even...
White would have to go back, rook e2, but clinging on by his fingernails, 3 seconds.
There's some f5?
Knight check, it's just a pin.
Yes, it is, that's it.
And he wins the queen. Queen for bishop and rook, but more importantly, he keeps a passed pawn here, black. This pawn is going to win him the game long term.
Yeah, he's going to check, and this is easy peasy. You might not even have to trade the rooks, but... Oh!
Into the corner, not quite checkmate, but game over. Hikaru wins.